Welcome to part 14 of the Metroid Prime commentary.
We're still in the fusion suit.
Yes, we are. Well, I was technically in the various suit last time.
You know what
before
I
we
mean.
ended that part.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get sent to deja vu.
Why? Because that's like the most common save point in the game. Well,
Yes.
not the most common, but like it's the save point I end up using the most for whatever reason.
It's also the one where I think we've started the most parts with.
Well, the
Yeah.
Chozo mines might as well be the overworld of
Chozo mines? There are no Chozo mines.
I'm combining level worlds now. We've gotten that to that point.
Level worlds?
I'm revoking your Metroid fan club. About whatever the hell it is. We haven't thought of it yet.
Okay, let me say those sentences
You know
again.
what? You know what? We're gonna make a club just so we can exclude you from it.
I'll sue your asses for discrimination and then get boatloads of money.
Only remakes allowed. Boots Hoenn.
Oh, here's okay.
Grapple
Areas
beam.
where you need the grapple beam count 1. Keep in mind that we got this thing like an hour ago.
Power bomb expansion.
It's like one of 3.
Yeah.
Oh, so what makes that expansion so much better that you have that it gets its own?
This is the first one.
Yeah, it's the first one you got.
Oh, okay. Well then, never mind.
Hidden tunnel here.
Oh, that's one thing that I love about Prime is that when you're close to power-ups, it'll go so you know something's there.
I love the hum.
Oh, goody, more of these things.
It's like if in a 2D Metroid, if there's a hidden thing if there's a hidden power-up in an area that's not marked on the map, there's no way to really know that it's there.
Invisible platforms. Or phase-throughable blocks for some reason.
I really did miss that though about other yeah.
What?
That's about as nitpick as you can get, but
What the hum?
there's no item pickup music when you pick up an item in that game.
There's no music at all in that game.
Well, no, there's music. It's just
It barely
No,
counts.
there's only one. There's only like when you're not in a battle. There's only like one track in that game that I can remember off the top of my head.
Ridley's theme doesn't count.
No, you said battle.
Well,
Ridley
not
said
Ridley's
battle.
theme, but it's based pretty heavily on Ridley's theme. It's that theme that plays when you blow up the Metroid area and you have to escape.
Are you sure that's not Ridley's theme?
No, it's based off of Ridley's theme. Like the background's based off of Ridley's theme. Well, no,
Is it the same theme that plays when you're fighting off the mystery creature?
No, hold on.
But
hold
John, we already did this one.
Hold on. It's called Section 25, I think.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
But it seems, it sounds similar to Ridley's theme, though. It's different enough.
I feel like I should be getting points for a Tony Hawk game, but
I was always terrible at those.
I was really good at 2. I actually unlocked everything in 2.
I think I only played the demo of 3.
Nah, 3 was alright. I only played 1, 2, and 3, really.
Ow.
I've only played 2. Well, it's a good thing
you-
these things just give up if they feel any sort of resistance at all, otherwise it might actually be dangerous.
So who else unlocked Spider-Man and Tony Hawk 2?
I did.
Officer Dick?
I don't remember.
Wasn't Snake in one of them too?
No, that was an Easter egg in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. There was a skating mode where you can play as Snake and Raiden.
Now let's
What
see,
odd
the special characters in 3 were Wolverine and Darth Maul for some reason.
Are they just pulling these names out of a hat?
I guess.
Lucasfilms versus Capcom. No, Marvel versus Lucasfilms.
Well, to be fair, Neversoft had the Marvel licenses at the time, so they were the one making the Spider-Man game, so that's why they had those characters in there.
Did they make the Spider-Man 2 movie game?
No, they made the PlayStation games.
Oh. Are those any good?
Those are pretty good.
Okay.
They're not
What,
fantastic,
the
but
licensed Spider-Man games?
yeah.
For some reason,
the
Spider-Man seems to have had the best luck. Okay, well, I guess Batman.
Spider-Man and Batman tend to have the best gaming careers out of all the superheroes.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, I think that's
Yeah.
mostly just because they're powerful superheroes without being like Superman powerful superheroes.
Would you say X-Men's like a runner-up?
Well, X-Men is so weird. There's been a lot of shit and very few good games, but the good games have been remembered for a lot of reasons.
That sounds like Batman.
Well, I mean, like the
I'd
only
say- I would
good
say-
X-Men
I would say
game that I
Bat-
remember is the arcade one.
I was about
which
to
is
say
just
Batman
pretty-
Batman generally has a higher quality than X-Men on a normal.
Well, I can only think of 4 games off the top of my head that are actually good Batman games.
NES, Batman,
NES, Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Arkham Asylum, and Arkham City.
Adventures of Batman and Robin for Super Nintendo.
Okay, that's 5. I said only 4 immediately come to mind. I don't have much experience with the Adventures of Batman and Robin games. So.
It's basically just an easier version of the NES game.
I see.
I still can't think of another X-Men game that's good other than the beat 'em up arcade one.
The only reason everyone remembers that is for the very,
Welcome
very
to
poor
die.
English. Come, X Chicken.
I love it for the horrible voice acting and the soundtrack, where the lyric, mind you, is just X-Men, repeated ad nauseum.
Dragon Ball Z.
X-Men, X-Men.
Is this like Sonic Rush repeating one lyric, or is it just like the word X-Men over and over again?
Just the word X-Men over and over again in multiple songs.
Why didn't they use the Westerman theme?
I don't know. X-Men. Needs more X-Men.
Going to quietly hide in the corner because I don't pay enough attention to this comic book shit to even come up with half of these references and shit. Yeah.
Well, being honest, even though I'm a Marvel guy, I've never cared about the X-Men.
You mean Wolverine and his merry sidekicks, the X-Men?
I've never cared about the X-Men except for the animated series and shit. And the first 2 movies.
Oh, the first 2 movies, you mean Wolverine and his merry sidekicks, the X-Men.
Yes.
You know, Wolverine
Wolverine.
didn't even debut in an X-Men book. He was just a random villain for the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, that's right. He did debut in it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're lucky if anyone can name an X-Men besides Cyclops.
Emma Frost.
No.
Right.
Asking any random person on the street, you'll be lucky if they can name an X-Men not named Wolverine or Cyclops.
You might get Magneto, but I don't know if that
might possibly get Gambit.
Or Rogue.
Maybe.
Or-
Depending on when they were
Nightcrawler.
born, but...
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, perhaps. Jubilee if you're a 90s kid.
Ugh. But no one likes Jubilee.
Wait, Jubilee. She's got glasses on her forehead. and
April
stuff.
O'Neil.
Yellow Ranger.
She's got the
April O'Neil.
She's got April O'Neil's hand-me-down yellow coat.
Yes, that. Yeah, I'm remembering her from the animated series now. What was her power again?
To be annoying.
What?
Yeah,
Fire?
My problem with X-Men is that there's so many characters, but there's only 7 that anybody gives a shit about. So that's my biggest problem.
Well, it's basically Hogwarts for mutant powers. So yeah, you got your handful of main characters, and then you got the rest of them, because if you don't have X number of superpowered people, the whole school for superpowered people just falls apart.
Yeah, but there's not 12 different side series where Neville Longbottom gets his own storyline, you know? The most random characters get their own unique storylines in X-Men continuity, and I just don't understand the appeal.
Is there one that
I'm
disclosed?
trying to make more than 5 people that people give a shit about, and failing.
It's just like the X-Men have enough characters to be their own universe. So it's just too dense for me.
That's
I'd
them
rather stick to-
attempting to make it Wolverine and Neville Longbottom and his merry band of sidekicks.
Wolverine and Neville Longbottom. That's a crossover I need to see.
Depends, are we
Bet
talking
you it's already happened.
Are we talking about early book Neville Longbottom or end of series awesome Neville Longbottom?
End of series.
Okay.
Now,
that
but,
might be a
but
kick-ass.
early Neville Longbottom would be funnier.
It would be funnier, but he'd be the comic relief and nothing more.
In which case, he becomes the sidekick and the project fails.
Yeah.
Yes. Then
nobody
he's a sidekick.
Nobody likes the sidekick, which is odd because the sidekick is designed to be liked by the masses.
Yeah,
The sidekick is
I
meant
would
to
say
be
more
you,
of a young
viewer.
Yeah, the only sidekick that really lasted was Robin.
No. Well, oh no, wait. Bucky Barnes died. Never mind.
No one remembers Bucky Barnes with regards to Captain America.
That's the Winter Soldier, isn't he?
Yeah, Winter Soldier's pretty cool beans. Nobody remembers him as a sidekick, though. I'd agree with you.
Okay, we're on our way to get the plasma beam.
Yay. Tedious
We-
Kind of
platform
late in the
crawling.
game for a beam upgrade.
Well, this is you can technically sequence break very early in the game and get this early before the fight with Thardus, actually.
This is a
how do you do that?
really, This is a really screwy platform mechanic thing, and I just mean that in the sense that who builds something like this, and not in the sense that it's a screw mechanic.
Well, the entire thing is a giant drill that we're kind of like reversing.
So did the Chozo build this stuff, or did the Space
I'm
Pirates?
assuming the space pirates.
Because, like, I remember reading somewhere in the logs that they were harnessing geothermal power to power their shit.
I think it was the space pirates. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what I was getting at earlier, you can sequence break here, and Ted, I think you're going to ask how. Remember what I said in an earlier part? How in the first version of the game, you can stand on shit that you weren't meant to stand on.
Yeah.
You can technically jump on things you weren't meant to stand on, and you can just like inch your way up towards this. You can skip this entire spider track.
And slowly but surely jump your way up.
Yeah, just jump your way up.
So what?
Huh.
You just like jumping off walls?
Yeah.
You have to but you have to know. No, you're not jumping on walls. You just have to know where to jump on, where and what to jump on.
Prime 2 will love that pattern a lot.
I never actually attempted to get the plasma beam early.
It doesn't really do much.
Well, I mean, it's very good to have a really powerful beam early in the game.
Yeah,
And
but
it's actually a good little attention to detail. Thardus is actually weak to the plasma beam.
why would
Well,
they
they had
program
to.
that?
I assume that for stuff like that, they program in damage for all the beams just in case.
I would assume that has to be the case, but Thardus is actually weak to the plasma beam, seeing he's kind of like an ice
Yeah,
creature.
if they didn't do that, the game would crash if you tried to use the beam on something it wasn't meant to be used on.
That would
Burger
explain
beam?
why. That would explain why Ganon is weak to the DQ sticks.
Well, I think that at that point, if it can do damage, then it'll share the same variables as any other weapon. Now, I'm not a programmer though, so take my.
They might have just punched in a random number and it came up higher than the others.
So, when did you start? When did you learn how to sequence break in Prime? Because most of these sequence break stuff isn't stuff that you'd find naturally, like you might by abusing the wall jump.
Good grief, is your arm made of lava now, or what? When the plasma beam was active, it looked like your
Well,
arm
I know what you
exploded in
mean,
lava.
but I'm trying to think of a smart-ass response, but nothing's coming to mind. So I'm just gonna say yeah.
You know, you have the grapple beam now. You can jump over the stuff without.
It's faster just to jump into it.
Space jumps faster.
And is for the plasma beam symbol on the bottom right there. Is it kind of like doing the Vulcan salute or something?
I guess so.
No, it looks more
long
like
and
someone's trying to do it, but they really can't.
Yeah. Well, you'd be surprised how a large amount of people can't do the Vulcan.
I can both
I can
hands.
do it too. I can do it with both hands, bitches.
It's not
Kinda
hard.
Like a gang, it's kind of like a gang sign.
The guy who played Spock in the
Leonard
J.J.
Nimoy.
Abrams
Leonard
Spock.
Nimoy?
No, in the J.J. Abrams one, he
Oh.
couldn't do it, so they had to super glue his fingers together for the scene at the very end where he does the Vulcan symbol to himself.
To be fair, that scene did have the best line. But it's mostly just because of Leonard Nimoy. Well, my usual departure would be oddly self-serving.
Oh man.
It's like, that was the best line in the entire movie.
I'm just thinking more of the Vulcan. You can't do the Vulcan symbol. Oh man.
You know, yeah, you might be wondering why they don't have him do it more often in the movie. It's because he physically can't.
Well, Ted, you were asking earlier, like, how
When did you learn how to sequence break?
Sequence
Or
break.
did you learn it naturally?
No, I did it during high school, actually. There's this awesome site, I believe, Metroid2002.com, that teaches you pretty much how to... teach you a lot of neat little speed breaks and sequence breaks. That's where I learned it. I don't remember how I came across it, but that's where I learned how to do a lot of these tricks. Well, whatever tricks I'm using anyway. I'm not using much. You know, because I don't want to break the game too hard.
Did you learn how to sequence break in Super before the internet?
Well, that's just learning to wall jump.
No, I just learned how to walk.
Oh, fuck.
I gotta start the recording over, I'm sorry.
If it were a speedrun,
you would have to.
Yeah. No, but there were times actually during my recording sessions for this playthrough that I did do something like that. If I fell off a long distance, I restarted the session. I'm just like that, you know?
Personally, I would just get back to where I fell and then jump cut when I edited.
Well, John doesn't jump cut at all.
Well,
I don't want to jump.
Lewis, to be fair, you need to record something to do that.
Oh, burn!
Funny.
Oh yeah, you're right. You can see Samus's hand. Oh, a little bit.
No, go back. There's a missile expansion.
There's a missile expansion right there.
Yeah, but there's another one to my left from that platform I was standing on.
Oh, so it's Super Metroid all over again.
It was very close. When I finished the last part of the game before having to go inside the impact crater, I looked at my item count, 99%. I was like, fuck! What did I miss? And that's one of the most annoying things that can happen to you in this game. You're missing an item expansion, you're not sure what. So
well, this game doesn't even have that thing like in Super Metroid or Zero Mission and Fusion do it better, where you have an open circle if it's one that you haven't gotten in that room yet.
And I would definitely say points of Fusion and Zero Mission for that regard. But in this game, if you're missing an item expansion, you're missing just one item expansion to get you to 100%, you're going to be searching all over the place for that damn expansion. That's what happened to me. Because I ignored that missile expansion just now, I spent about 5 hours looking for that damn missile expansion.
Yikes.
5 hours?
I backtracked everywhere. I looked everywhere. Every single crevice, everything, because I wasn't sure where to look.
Why didn't you go back and review the footage?
Oh, John, you want to know what would have happened? It's in its own separate room, right?
In a sense.
Yeah, if it's in its own separate room, that would have been marked by the map, so you would have seen on the map that there was a blue room that you haven't gone into there, so therefore, you should have used the map.
No, wait. If it was that one missile expansion that I got earlier, the one that was inside its own separate room, then yeah, I will completely agree. But this one missile expansion, the one I missed, is inside a hidden wall that's covered by shrubbery. So it's technically in the same tall vertical shaft, so it wouldn't be blue.
Well, still, that situation could have happened, which means
it could have happened, and I would agree if it did happen, but it didn't.
I win by I hypothetically win then.
No.
How do you win hypothetically?
I just did, and I don't know how.